my friends, and welcome. I'm Shannon Kelly. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here with you tonight for an incredible evening of collaboration between EDCO and Cultivate Bend. We're so excited for this programming tonight. Thank you to Open Space for hosting us this month, and of course, Hand in Hand Productions for the multi-room stream. Has anyone checked out the food? I think I know the answer to that. How about a round of applause for the amazing food? Thank you, Lucky's Woodsman. You are amazing. And thank you, Sips Cocktail Service, for our drinks. I am hosting PubTalk tonight thanks to MC sponsor OSU Cascades. OSU Cascades, it's where entrepreneurs, researchers, and the next generation talent will drive real world impact. The Future Innovation District at OSU Cascades. Visit osucascades.edu to learn more. Also, thank you to our PubTalk title sponsors for making PubTalk a reality every month, and we'd love to welcome them up on stage to introduce themselves. And we're going to start with Randy Dean from Kernet Stokes. Randy, where are you? How are you doing? Round of applause for Randy. Randy, for a moment, I thought you might somersault onto the stage, but maybe next time. Take it away.
I've been doing taxes for like the last 4 weeks, so no somersaulting. Hello. As it says there, Randy Dean is CPA with Kernet Stokes, senior tax specialist. Everybody loves taxes, right? Who said yeah? She's got something. So Kernet Stokes works mainly with business owners and complex tax situations and other stuff. I've just got a bunch of numbers in my head right now. Call us up if you need some tax services. But I've got a giveaway. $50 Callaway gift card. I'm going to give it to who here was at the EDCO luncheon? Raise your hand. You're not, I can't allow you. Yeah. Keep your hand up. Does everybody remember Peter with Deschutes? Do you remember the product that they're introducing? Who said party ball first? Way back in the back. All right. That's the winner.
I love it. That's great. Thank you, Randy. I just want to say, Randy, I am in the habit of making my tax situation more complex than it needs to be, and that's a bad habit of mine. That's on me. Okay, next up, Julianne Horner, Providence Health Plan. Julianne, how you doing? Do you want to somersault up? Okay. Okay.
Hi, everybody. Can you believe we're almost at March? It feels like it's already spring already. But one of the things we want to talk about is at the first of the year, everybody goes, let's plan our vacations. Let's see what we're going to do. Let's plan our finances. But let's make sure you also do your preventative care and all of the preventative services that are part of your health care. I know nobody wants to call that doctor, but this is the time to get it scheduled throughout the year so that when you come into next year, you already have the baseline and you're just keeping that baseline going. So at Providence Health Plan, we believe in good health. We have a mission of know, care, and ease the way for all of our members. And the best way to do that is have you use your health care. So hopefully next time I come up, I'm going to ask you to raise your hand to see if anybody actually made the appointments. Have a great night.
Thank you, Julianne. I want you to know I'm going to the eye doctor tomorrow. All right, Mark Reinhardt from Best and Krieger. Mark, come. Are you going to somersault? Absolutely not.
What's that dancer guy? Or I'm so old now, isn't there?
I mean, I think you could do like a figure skating thing,
something
right?
Boone,
like,
right?
Benson?
Benson Boone. There we do it. I'll Benson Boone it. No. Hi, everyone. I'm Mark Reinhardt. I'm a recent hire at Best and Krieger. I do a lot of transactional work, mostly mergers and acquisitions, licensing, investments, things like that. Our firm is growing. It's great. We just hired a new business associate named Emma Singer, and she's been lovely. We also have a new associate here, Megan Kilmer. She's great. I hope we all get a chance to work with you guys at some point in the future here. Because I can't help it and I'm a legal nerd, Oregon is currently in its short session for the legislature. A couple updates in case you guys haven't heard. Hopefully you all have heard about SB 1511. Most of you have probably heard Oregon's a great place to live, horrible place to die because our estate tax kicks in at $1 million. SB 1511 is supposed to bump that threshold to 2.5, which I think still makes us the worst state in the country, but I could be wrong. And on the flip side, if you have an estate bigger than 3 million, you're going to owe more taxes. So something to consider. I don't do a lot of estate planning. Our firm does do a lot of it, though. One that is near and dear to my heart because my undergrad degree is in tourism and outdoor leadership, basically fly fishing and hunting guiding. If any of you have heard, there's a big debate going on right now over 2 bills that are designed to make liability waivers more enforceable for recreation service providers like Mount Bachelor, like hunting and fishing guides, things like that. The one that's currently made the most progress in the Senate is the one that is the least protective of recreation resource providers. There is one that would be more protective, but it's still stuck in the Rules Committee. So if you guys are involved in the recreation community, if you have folks, friends, family who are, and you want to kind of push for one or the other, do some research into that. 1593 is the good one. 1517 is very plaintiff's lawyer friendly. So with that, speaking of that, those laws are kind of designed to counteract a 2014 decision that was Bagley versus Mount Bachelor. And since Mount Bachelor has no snow right now, or maybe it does, nowhere has snow right now, right? I have a gift card and a question about Mount Bachelor. Does anyone know the first year that Mount Bachelor had a chairlift? So close. 1964 was the starting bid. A little too late. 67. No, earlier. Who said 61? There we go. All right, you win. And then how much was a lift ticket at Mount Bachelor when it opened? $3. So.
Wow. Thank you for the giveaway. $3 lift tickets. We should bring that back. Okay, next up, Jordan Smith, CMIT Solutions. Jordan, where are you, my friend?
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to PubTalk. Thanks to EDCO. Thanks to the space. This is an awesome event. Glad to see you guys all here. My name is Jordan Smith. I'm with CMIT Solutions. We do cybersecurity and IT services for businesses of all sizes throughout Central Oregon. Many of you guys, I do work for you. You trust us, right, with your IT. And one of the cool things I get to see and do in this business is I get to see what a lot of you do. And there's we make a lot of really cool things here in Central Oregon. And I'm kind of curious, if you had to guess, if you had to pick one of the, I know this thing. Nobody really knows this is made in Central Oregon, but I know. Do you know anything that's super nuanced or unknown in Central Oregon? Anybody have anything that's made here that no one knows about? What'd you say? Carrot oil. We're the biggest producer of carrot oil, so that's cool. What else? Come on. You guys make stuff. What do you make? Beer. There you go. That's an easy answer. See, this is participate. Anyone else? One more. Baseball bats. Yeah, I didn't know that. We make baseball bats, and we sell those around the country. One of the big things that EDCO really drives is to get businesses here in Central Oregon that make things here in Central Oregon and sell them outside of the region so that money comes into the region and grows the economy, hence economic development for Central Oregon. So celebrate your exporters of goods here in Central Oregon, and for those of us that are CPAs and healthcare providers and IT service providers and lawyers, we love that you guys are here making things to sell things outside the region. So we have business to do here in Bend. So thank you, Jordan Smith, CMIT Solutions.
Thanks, Jordan. Man, I thought for sure you were going to be the somersault. And I want you to know, Jordan, every time I change my bank passwords, I think of you and in a non-creepy way. So thank you so much to all of our sponsors, Best and Krieger, CMIT Solutions, Exemplar Wealth Advisors, Kernut Stokes. Okay, I have one more. Oh my goodness. Emma James. How could I? How could I? Exemplar Wealth Advisors. You know what? Take as much time as you need.
Good evening, everyone. I didn't somersault, but maybe next time. My name is Emma James. I'm a partner and financial advisor at Exemplar Wealth Advisors. We just recently rebranded from, after 26 years, as Roselle Wealth Management to have a name that reflects the exemplary people that we work with, entrepreneurs and business owners. And what we specialize in is helping support those business owners, maximize the sale of their businesses so that they can launch right into the retirement lifestyle of their dreams. Now, apparently we have a lot of tax enthusiasts here. I really don't trust that at all. We're in the middle of tax season, I know. But as the famous, was it Einstein? Somebody help me out. Said, there's nothing certain in life except death and taxes, right? And I don't know about the death thing. If somebody's figured that out, let me know. But I'm going to make an argument that there's a lot more that you can do to reduce the amount you pay in taxes that doesn't involve an offshore account in the Canary Islands. One of the ways that we support our business owners is by helping them keep the full amount that they get from the sale so that they can really do what they want with their life after. There's a lot of tools in the toolbox, but one of my favorite combinations are a client who is tax averse but also has a really big heart for philanthropy, because there is a lot that we can do when someone wants to pay less to Uncle Sam, but really make an impact in the communities that they love. So, but it takes a lot of proactive planning. So if you're interested, we host seminars about this. Seminar, Lunch and Learn, it's 1 hour. We have one coming up next week. If you're interested, scan the QR code and come join us. We have a few seats left. And we also have a lot of free educational material. So you could scan that, fill out an email, and I'd be happy to send you 35 pages packed with power that will help you save on taxes too. So good luck with tax season.
Thanks, Emma. Oh, I appreciate you so much. May not be a great state to die in from a tax perspective, but we do have excellent hospice care providers. So I will say that. Thank you, Best and Krieger, CMIT Solutions, Exemplar Wealth Advisors, Kernut Stokes, and Providence Health Plan. These partners make PubTalk a reality, and we're so glad that they do. Now for an update on the economic development efforts from EDCO CEO John Stark. John, I'm really counting on you to make a somersault intro. Okay, I'm going to drop it.
I'm going rogue. I'm going to challenge Emma, where is she, to a somersault contest on this stage March 19th. And you all get a vote. You in? I'm in. There was too much talk about this. We got to do something. I didn't have a giveaway. But now I got a giveaway. I'm going to challenge Emma to a somersault contest March 9th. Be here. I skipped one small thing to start tonight. What up, PubTalk Nation? All right, Mark did a really nice job talking about the state legislature. There's some stuff going on over in the Capitol right now. Some of it good, some of it not so good. Rec liability, good one, 1593. He was exactly right. We've been tracking that bill. This year, new to EDCO, we've joined the Regional Business Alliance. That's a partnership between EDCO and the Bend Chamber. I've talked about this a little bit on the stage while I've been here. We were over in the state capitol last week advocating for our bills. Rec liability is one of them. We're trying to say move 1593 along, leave 1517 alone. Unless you're going to stall 1593, then let's play with 1517 to get it in a place that it actually will make a difference and doesn't single out one industry. So what I did want to talk about is optimism. And that is, I was talking to Roger in the back, and we spent a lot of time at that state capitol trying to make sure there's a landscape so businesses can thrive here. It's definitely been an uphill battle over the years. But one of the things that is positive, one, is that the governor's actually recognized that we have some work to do in her prosperity roadmap. And yes, there's some concerns about that because the next day was her announcement of re-election. So is that the right thing at the right time? Suffice to say, she's done a couple of things right. She added Tim Knope as the prosperity officer. That's reaching across the lines of the state legislature. So that's a good thing. Second, for the first time, this is what Roger and I were talking about, she's hired an economic policy advisor for economic development and workforce development that's been a practitioner doing the same work that EDCO does in the state. And that's resulted in another bill that's happening right now, House Bill 4084, that modernizes the Enterprise Zone program, which is our #1 tool to attract and retain businesses, with creating some new terms and some new flexibility in that program. It creates a fast-track permitting council so that companies can get through the state permits faster. And then it adds $40 million to an industrial loan fund that we've been trying to grow for several years. You heard me talk about that. So I'm encouraged that first, we've recognized we have a challenge, a problem, and two, we're going to do some things about it. There are still some bills out there right now that aren't favorable to business that we're trying to get defeated right now. And so it's not all roses, but definitely we're making an impact over there. If you're interested in joining the efforts on the legislative front, you want to know more, go to regionalbusinessalliance.com, and you can get engaged there like EDCO has, strengthen numbers. So please join us. But the good news is we're going to do a somersault contest at the next Pub Talk. So thanks for letting me have the mic for a few minutes.
Thanks, John. Oh, what a great update. And I want to compliment you on your fantastic memory, being able to rattle off the numbers of those bills. That's impressive. I can barely remember my own address most days. Okay, we would love to extend a thank you to all of our EDCO members. EDCO membership underwrites a variety of support and resources and events just like these, and of course, efforts to build a prosperous and sustainable economy. If you are not a member, we'd love to invite you to become one. So please let me announce our new EDCO members. Core Path Well Partners, Fontana Wood Products, Fournier Group, Risk Strategies. I believe y'all are here tonight. There we are. Good to see you. High Desert Horticultural Center, Kiln. Are any of my Kiln friends here? Nice to see you. Longtail Health is also here with us tonight. Longtail, they're partying in the lobby. Okay, great. Mortenson, Portland, Pacific Furs, and TDS, as well as True Wealth Group. And if you want to hear your business called out at Pub Talk and learn more about EDCO membership, you want to talk to Larry Holman or any of the EDCO team members that are here with us tonight. We are absolutely thrilled to have you here with us. This is an evening of innovation and insight. We kindly ask that everyone remain in the room during the program. We really strive to support our speakers, and it really makes a big difference if you can stay put throughout the whole program. If you do have a reason to leave, we just ask that you enjoy the program out in the lobby. I'm not sure what's happening behind me, but I'm going to keep it moving. We are absolutely thrilled to partner with Cultivate Bend on showcasing some of our local entrepreneurs from the natural products, consumer packaged goods. We're so excited to hear from more good friend, and of course, tonight's keynote, Elliot Begoun. If you do need, again, to step out at any point, just remain in the networking area, enjoy the program from the live stream, and we really thank you for cooperating on that. So joining us on stage to kick off our event and share an update on Cultivate Bend, welcome my friend, Katie Thompson. Where are you, Katie? Oh, there you are.
We are here today at Cultivate Live, which is our annual event. We hold an incredible pitch slam, a marketplace of all of these amazing vendors, as well as a keynote speaker that came and inspired so many today.
We had always imagined that a pitch slam of some sort would be the focal point of that event. And the real purpose behind that is to be able to showcase brands that are ready to pitch in front of a panel of expert judges, and to really showcase the level of innovation and creativity and passion and values-driven, purpose-driven enterprise, what that can mean.
If you're going to stick in this industry, you need those connections. And so there is a community of innovators here and food makers and personal care products, clearly. So this is an outlet for them to connect with people that are doing the same thing they're doing.
I was really impressed with the products and the people who were here for the showcase today, as well as the people at the Pitch Slam. It was really, really tight in the judging today, and they all did a great job. Great products, and they all did a nice job pitching. And I think there's a lot of opportunity for each one of them to scale on their own as well.
Now I'm totally feeling re-energized and like, oh, wow, okay, this product speaks to people. So I'm super happy to be able to get those services and work with experts here. And that Pitch Slam package is really going to help someone like me.
All right. Hi, everyone. First of all, I was prepared to do a somersault until I realized the challenge has been extended to the 3rd or the 19th. Invite me? I don't know. I was ready for it. I'm Katie Thompson. I'm the co-founder of Square Baby and a proud board member of Cultivate Bend. Shout out to the Three Pines Collective for creating this amazing video of Cultivate Live, and our newest board member, Chris, who's just joined us from Three Pines. We're so excited to have you. I'm so proud to talk about Cultivate Bend today. We're an all-volunteer board, founders and operators that are building this community the same way that we build our own companies, with urgency, with intention, and with heart. Okay, next slide. Yes. Oh, I have it. Oh, man, that was dramatic, you guys. Boop, beep, boop. All right. Guys, anticipation. At Cultivate Bend, we support and elevate consumer packaged goods, or CPG, entrepreneurs and leaders at every stage of growth. And we do it in 4 powerful ways. We build community, real collaboration, not transactional networking. We forge connections, brands, retailers, investors, suppliers, and economic leaders. We provide resources, so tools, expertise, and networks that help members move faster. And we share wisdom, building experienced operators forward, or bringing experienced operators forward to spark smarter strategy and bold thinking. Inclusivity is at our core, so across geography, gender, race, ethnicity, and culture. Every voice matters here. Well, nailed it. So who we serve. Our ecosystem really includes 3 groups: the natural products CPG brands, so founders and teams that are scaling ambitious companies; adjacent partners, that's suppliers, distributors, investors, service providers; and economic development leaders, so that's EDCO, OEN, and all these organizations that are helping Central Oregon businesses in their landscape. Together this, oh, no, not me, not cutting me off. Shannon. Together. We did not rehearse. Together, this creates something powerful, a connected ecosystem where collaboration drives real growth. I really like saying next slide. All right, so our events. We activate this ecosystem with programming that's designed to connect and accelerate. Our happy hours, those are monthly events, no agenda. These are just real connection, high-value networking. Just show up. It's a first Tuesday of every month at Crux, 5 to 7. Women in CPG, so thanks to Barb Myers, this is one of our most popular events that are supporting female founders and the ecosystem through workshops, speakers, and collaborative think tanks. And Cultivate Live, the video that you saw, that's our signature gathering, bringing together local brands with national retailers, investors, and CPG veterans. Boop. All right, so new things that we're excited about in 2026. We are growing. This year, we are adding a virtual Ask the Expert workshop. So this is interactive sessions with specialists that are broadening our reach beyond Bend. So whether it's hard to get out of the house at 6 p.m. because you're juggling a zillion things, or you live in Madras or outside of Bend in general, we are offering these opportunities. Coffee and co-working. It's like happy hour, but coffee and muffins, and bring your computer. This is structured serendipity. Really, this is where the magic happens. It's get out from our offices and come gather together. And what I'm most excited about is the farmers market booth opportunity. We are shaping this opportunity for if you're a first-time farmers market vendor and would like to get your feet wet and partner alongside Cultivate Bend, we got you. All right. Boop. I can't not say boop. All All right, in collaboration. Okay, so this is also a really exciting thing for Cultivate Bend. We have always been a part of the EDCO community and OSU Cascades, but we're really putting our foot to the fire here this year, a part of the EDCO Innovation Hub, the High Desert Food and Farm Alliance, and OSU Cascades, really collaborating outside of our own network to bring the best to our founders and to the community. And we are proud recipients of the the Oregon Community Foundation grant, which $25,000 for Cultivate Bend is like $1 million for a founder. It is like, I was like, you guys, we have money this year. This is so great. So we're really grateful to OCF. Okay, so Central Oregon is becoming the hub for natural products innovation. Cultivate Bend is really helping to shape its future. We're cultivating more than businesses. We're cultivating an ecosystem. So if you're building in the space, become a member. And if you're believing in our mission, become a sponsor. Plug in, step in, grow with us, because together we are shaping what's next. Okay.
Thank you, Katie. But how about another round of applause for Katie and Cultivate Bend? I'm just so proud of you guys, and I agree, like getting out of the office and connecting in a different space, magic happens every time. So next up, we are excited to welcome to the stage a pitch from MMOR. Joining us on stage tonight are the founders, Ken and Nadia Langdon. Ken is a creative leader and entrepreneur dedicated to building brands and businesses rooted in intention, integrity, and trust, and is the founder of No Branding Group and More Waffles, a health-forward food company inspired by his family's desire to eat better without sacrificing the foods they love. Nadia is a wellness-minded entrepreneur and former big tech project manager who brings operational strength and clarity to purpose-driven work. Together, they live in Central Oregon with their 2 sons and are on a mission to help families live healthier, more intentional lives. Help me welcome Ken and Nadia.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having us. My name is Ken.
I'm Nadia.
We're the founders of MMOR. We were expecting potentially lapel mics, so I don't know how this is going to go with the note cards. I spent most of my career building brands from a design standpoint and strategic standpoint, and now we get the opportunity to build our own right here in Central Oregon.
Thanks for the intro. I'm going to repeat it. I have a background in project management in big tech and have helped shape MMOR since day one as a thought partner, helping refine the vision alongside Ken.
And MMOR is a food brand aligned to our family values, and we're here to tell you why we exist and a little bit more about where we're going.
We have normalized food for shelf life and profit and not for health and how we feel after we eat it. 57% of the calories consumed here in America come from ultra-processed foods, and yes, that includes, aside from the EDCO, the presumably healthier choices on the screen behind me. 42% of adults and 1 in 3 children are categorized as obese, and half of us in America live with at least one chronic disease, which are linked to all the highly processed foods. Ultra processed, not just Twinkies, but again, like these type of foods, even like Chobani yogurt, Nature Valley Sabra hummus, things like that. When I talk about ultra processed, I mean things that are made with refined oils, added sugars, protein isolates and starches, preservatives, stabilizers, flavorings, things like that. These things look like really good foods for us, but they're far removed from the ingredient sources from which they came. They're designed to be hyper-palatable, shelf-stable, and extremely cheap to produce. The result is energy crashes, unstable blood sugar, chronic inflammation, hormone disruption, and a slow drift away from how our bodies are meant to function. 6 years ago, I became pregnant with our first child. We thought that we were healthy, but we were far from it. We were making choices that we thought were at least better for you, choosing the smarter option in the grocery aisle, but we still had highly processed diets, didn't move our bodies as much as we should. But I decided I wanted to do right by the baby I was growing and started learning about where we started was removing food dyes. And then that cascaded into fully reading the ingredients lists, choosing higher quality fats and proteins, and just overall a more whole foods diet. 6 months in, Ken lost 20 pounds without counting a single calorie. We both had much more stable energy, clearer skin, digestion, no more feelings of bloat. I think, oh, I missed a card. No more feelings of bloat. I didn't miss a card, I'm done.
So more was born after this, and we started with something with Waffles, something we were already making in our own kitchen, refining the recipe, making it cleaner, more allergy friendly, and ultimately better tasting. It resulted in a waffle that is made with organic ingredients, gluten-free, vegan, no added sugar, no gums or seed oils, and something that most people could enjoy. And then MMOR is a health-focused food brand made for those who read the ingredients. We currently have 3 flavors, the original, Ceylon cinnamon, and wild blueberry. We're working on a protein waffle that is also available to taste here right after this at our table. We're hyper-focused on waffles right now and trying to make the best waffles we can. And then in the future, we see this brand expanding into more products.
You guys, I did miss the card. It was that traveling now, when we travel and eat out, we can feel the effects of it immediately, and we realize the inputs matter. Therefore, we made more. Frozen waffles are a $1.5 billion market nationwide each year in America, and that's only increasing with the frozen breakfast aisle. Better for you options are no longer niche. Health foods make up hundreds of billions of dollars in consumer purchasing power each year. And that growth is driven by demand for, yes, convenience, but also gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan options, and protein-rich options as well. 75% of grocery buyers say that health impacts their decision when they're buying something in the grocery store. And I thought the same prior to looking into all the ingredients and learning what we know now. So the demand is there, and our goal is just to help continue to grow it.
As we looked across categories, we kept on running into trade-offs like added sugars, seed oils, gums, etc. No one was really solving the entire problem. There isn't another waffle like ours that is organic, gluten-free, vegan, no added sugars, no gums or seed oils. And I'd like to present a challenge and potentially a giveaway. If you guys can find another brand and bring it to me, the first person who brings it to me, I'll give a free box of waffles. Our differentiation creates a category of its own with real room to scale. So currently we're looking to expand locally in retail stores and more significantly into some cafes and restaurants. Like I said, we're working on a protein waffle. Each protein waffle will have 18 grams of protein. We reconfigured the base flour for it and to add lentils, pumpkin seed, and then in the whole mixture we've added chia seed, hemp hearts, and additional flaxseed. And that allows us to put less protein powder in there to avoid that chalky, powdery texture.
Forward looking, we have some big goals that start with scale. That includes equipment upgrades and a kitchen setup that will help us increase production capacity while lowering costs. Also, frozen storage and cold chain logistics, and increasing our retail partnerships and distribution.
So we're focused on building something unexpected, honest, and uncompromising to our standards. So we're open to partners that are and investors that are aligned with our values. Potentially somebody that wants to be in the trenches with us and work alongside us, or just a unique partnership. And that's it from us. Thank you, everybody. We'll have samples, and we'll have some boxes available.
Beautiful pitch. No, you're good. You guys are doing great. That was amazing, right? You said I'm hyper focused on waffles, and I'm thinking I am too now. I mean, your packaging's beautiful. I also want to say that, and I want to say, like, one thing that you didn't put on the slide with all of the other waffles is that yours are actually delicious, and those ones are dry and crusty. So, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So, how did you decide to start with waffles? Did your kids come up with this?
No, it was pretty. I have a lot of ideas being a creative, and it was just kind of the idea at the time, and something we're passionate about was health. So I just decided to go, and in a month and a half, we launched it.
Oh, that's great.
We pretty much just weren't happy with, as we were saying, with any of the freezer options, because we do have kids, and we wanted a fast, convenient breakfast to get out the door, and none of it was meeting our standards.
Yeah, and it's a great snack, and you really can do a lot with it. It's like sweet or savory. I know you can get them at the Commons coffee shop. That's where I first came across them, and it's like such a great option, and it's gluten-free, which is amazing. Okay, so are you thinking of any like other new flavors on the horizon?
Just the protein right now. I want to be careful on how many flavors we add, but if we add a fifth, it'll probably be something unique. So like think coffee, nothing
matcha.
Not just like
okay, not just like mini chocolate chips.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just an idea. Just think about it. I just know a gal who likes that. Okay, any questions for more waffles? Yes, in the back. What? I love it. I love it. This is a great question. She says, we're not putting log cabin syrup on these babies. What toppings do you recommend?
I always recommend adding some protein to it. So depending, we have Greek yogurt. We can add an egg, like hot sauce egg, sour cream is always good. Microgreens.
Bacon, avocado, sauce.
With the waffles not having any added sugar, they're not as sweet as a regular box waffle, so it's easy to swing it savory. But I do like my waffles sweet. So especially on the cinnamon, I like the Greek yogurt. It does add protein, and then toast up some nuts and put some more cinnamon on it. And then syrup.
I'd say my go-to is peanut butter syrup and Greek yogurt on the blueberry.
I'm like, you could get really fancy and do like a poached egg and some bechamel and a little
hot sauce.
I'm making it weird, aren't I? Yeah. Okay, any other questions for these guys? Okay, I think everyone's on board is actually what's happening right now. So I hope you'll come back and give us an update. I know that you can find them at just about any grocery store that you're probably shopping at, and you are offering samples tonight. But that doesn't mean you can run out of here right now and go get them. You have to hold until the end of the program.
We have boxes
right?
for sale.
We have
too.
boxes. Okay, yep. Great, perfect. Thanks, you guys. Really well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. How about another round of applause for our friends from MMOR? Anybody else hungry? I'm like, cinnamon. I'll take it. Okay, so tonight's keynote is brought to you by these amazing partners. Summit Bank is thrilled to sponsor PubTalk. We are your local business bank, Oregon's fastest growing bank, the bank with beer, and now, after 21 years, we are the second largest bank in Oregon. We are Summit Bank, Oregon's business bank. And is your business, career, or organization ready for the next step? The Center for Business at Central Oregon Community College offers no-cost expert business advising, workforce training focused on today's skills and professional development for individuals and teams. Whether you need business or training support, the Center for Business at COCC is here to help. You can learn more at cocc.edu/Center for Business. We are so excited to have our keynote joining us tonight on stage. Elliot Begoun is a 35-year CPG industry veteran, contrarian, systems thinker, and self-described misplaced college professor. He has turned those strengths into a calling to educate, equip, and empower entrepreneurial leaders and their teams as a high-performance coach, advisor, and board member. As founder of TIG Brands, Elliot champions tardigrades, resilient and capital-efficient businesses built to last. Help me welcome Elliot.
Thank you, thank you. I'll save the somersault for my grandkids. I'm just happy getting down and back up. Thanks for having me. This is such an amazing community, and what you're doing here with EDCO and Cultivate Bend, it's the analog antidote to our 2D world. And it's so, convening and getting people in a room. And I heard the word serendipity before. It is such an incredible part of entrepreneurship. It's just that serendipitous connection. So thrilled to sit here and talk with you for the next 2 hours. Wait, is that not how much time I have? Okay. I see a lot of people making a quick dash. I'm going to talk to you about pattern recognition, something across all businesses that I see. And then I hope to leave enough time and encourage you all to pepper me with questions and make this more interactive, because I don't think any of us will benefit from me just doing the talking. So let's see if I can make this work. You already heard about me. That's great. That's my least favorite topic to talk about. I'm going to just talk about what it takes to scale a business. And this is 35 years of pattern recognition. And I have the benefit of working not only alongside entrepreneurs, but also alongside VCs and many PEs, as well as do some work for some very large companies as they look to build venture arms into their business or just connect to innovation. And I'm not the smartest person in the room, but I've been doing this long enough to see things continuously happen and repeat. And that's where I want to spend the time today, is sharing those lessons and talking about things maybe that we don't think about when we talk about scaling businesses. So first of all, this journey isn't linear. How many entrepreneurs, business owners in the room? Okay. How many of you have had things just go, from A to B to C? Okay, it's not realistic. It's not how it works. This is a very spiral, circuitous journey. But there are basically three things you're trying to do. One is clarity, right? Where am I going? What the hell am I doing? What am I trying to accomplish? What's the strategic direction? Okay. The next is execution, discipline, implementation, getting shit done, right? And then the third is legacy, trying to build things that exist without you, without your involvement. And then as soon as you have all those three things figured out, things change and you're doing it all again. And that's just rinse, repeat, do it again. Okay? Every founder, every entrepreneur needs to develop their own founder operating system. So we hear about things like EOS, but I'm talking about specific to the leader. So here's a little take-home nugget, right? A business can only scale as fast as its leader can lead it. What I see as the number one governor of a business's growth isn't product market fit, isn't unit economics, it's the leader or leaders. So having an operating system to shift from reactive thinking to being proactive, to design thinking, to be more proactive in execution and more future thinking. The second is essential tools. Every founder should have their own calendar system. I am ridiculously anal about my calendar system. I need more colors because I color block things and try to create a system that allows me to see through the chaos. You need to have energy and performance audits, and we're going to get deeper into all of this in a second. And then just clarity, all of those keys to success. So we're going to talk about each here in a second. So I love entrepreneurs. Most of them that I meet are squirrels, okay? Just saying, again, pattern recognition. What I mean by that is they're chasing their next nut, okay? They're just always looking. Abundance is a problem for them. The entrepreneurs, the leaders that win, stay ruthlessly focused. They don't deviate. They avoid the shiny object. They prioritize high impact. They minimize things that are interesting and just focus on what's important. They eliminate noise. This is a really hard thing to do. And especially when you come in an environment like this, because everybody's going to talk about something cool they're trying. Right now, everybody's talking about all the AI they're bringing into their business. And some of those tools are remarkable and fantastic, but a lot of it is just noise at the moment. So what is important versus interesting? I'll tell a quick story. A friend of mine, Lou Jaffe, he was one of the co-founders of one of the first video conferencing back in the 80s. And they were the first to compress audio and video in a single signal. So they were in Kleiner Perkins' office on Sand Hill Road, one of the big VCs. His partner's in Boston, Lou's there, and they wheel in this big old clunky machine because it took a lot of processing power back then. And a well-meaning associate at Kleiner Perkins said, "This thing's really ugly. So let's put a table skirt around it to make it look better." So they start the conference. About halfway through, the table skirt starts smoking because of all the heat. And quickly fire extinguishers come out and there's a little burn hole in the carpet. And so after the meeting, Lou calls his partner and says, "We blew it. We blew it. We caught Kleiner Perkins on fire." And his partner said to him, "You know what, Lou? It's really interesting that we almost burned Kleiner Perkins down. But what's important is they just sat through the first coast-to-coast video conference call, right?" So it's just a reminder, what's interesting versus what's important. So team and culture are multipliers. So one of the things I see in the building of team, right? Especially now we live in a very agile and nimble economy, which is super beneficial to entrepreneurship, where we can use fractional help, we can do all of these things. So we postpone culture. We postpone that conversation. And then we wake up one day and realize that that horse is out of the barn and there's no putting it back. So being very thoughtful from day one about founder clarity, team alignment, and being a systems builder. And I'm going to talk more deeply about each of these as we go forward. This one's woo-woo, okay? I'll admit it. But energy is, without a doubt, the hidden currency in the entrepreneurial journey, okay? Energy is vital. And what I mean by that is you have to show up every day and manifest the best version of yourself. That's the requirement of being a good leader, about being an entrepreneur. If you come in depleted, if you come in fractured, if you come in ineffective, guess what? That's exactly how your business is going to show up, okay? So energy, managing energy. If you're low energy, you're missing your blind spots. You're not becoming a leader that your team can rally around. So energy is vital. So here's where I'm going to spend time in more depth, because I have this 2 hours. As an entrepreneur, as a leader, you have to evolve. You have to move from where you were when you start a business to where you need to be when you scale one. So when you start a business, And for many times, for much of the first 3, 5, sometimes 10 years, okay, you're in that first space. I have to do everything. I'm the primary decision maker. I'm the primary doer. I touch everything. There isn't a thing about this business that doesn't cross my field of vision, okay? How many of you feel like you're still in that role in your business, okay? And I want to be clear. This isn't bad or good, right or wrong. It's just reality. This is the archetypes and what you have to matriculate through to scale your business. The next is you start becoming discerning. You start becoming an architect. You start thinking about building team and systems, things that are repeatable, things that are resilient, okay? And then eventually what you have to get to is I build capacity in others. That's my job. My sole purpose as a leader, as an entrepreneur, is to build capacity in others. Because if you do that and you become really effective at that, there is no limit to the scale that your business can grow. So, systems over hustle. We glorify hustle. There's books written about it. Grit. We hear about it all the time. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Okay? I'm telling you right now, that is an absolutely terrible strategy. Okay? Systems beat hustle every day. Doesn't mean you can't and shouldn't work hard. Doesn't mean that you, at times, at moments, have to grind it out or do the work. But if you're simply trying to work, what you're doing is confusing effort with results. And that's not a winning strategy. So you need your calendar systems, you need decision frameworks, and you need financial clarity. I would say one of the things that so many entrepreneurs do is they push their financials to others, okay? Learn and know your financials. It's not fun, okay? I get it. We've been talking about taxes. It's very similar. It's not why most people get up in the morning and say, I want to start a business. It's because I want to spend most of my day with my balance sheet and cash flow, okay? But knowing it and knowing it intimately is the unlock to do the things. I have a cash flow model I push towards all of my entrepreneurs, and I make them for at least 13 weeks do a weekly cash flow, okay? Every inflow, every outflow for 13 weeks, forecast versus actual, okay? Most of them hate me for 13 weeks. It's terrifying, first of all. It's annoying. But by the end of the 13 weeks, you'll realize you start week 1 pathologically optimistic, okay? You believe you're going to receive a whole lot more money and spend a whole lot less. And then you realize that's not how it's working, okay? 13 weeks later, you have a much better sense of the flow of your business. Your business feels more predictable. You feel more in front of it. You're not, sitting with your toes dangling off the precipice of a cliff. You see the cliffs coming up. Doesn't mean you can get rid of them, but it means you can see them in advance and make decisions proactively instead of reactively, okay? Capital readiness. How many in here are raising money? Okay, that's an amazingly low number, and I think that's wonderful, by the way. But by the way, whether you're actively raising or will never raise, these things still apply. And that's number one is that you have to have strong fundamentals. A business has to be built on strong fundamentals. Good economics, good financial rigor. Then you have to build your team and systems. So hiring the right people, knowing when to hire people, when to take people that were fractional and move them to full time. Then metrics and performance. We hear a lot of things, KPIs, OKRs. I don't care what you call them, how you do it. What matters is that you know exactly the 3 to 5 things that are going to drive your business forward and watch those closely. You have a clear vision and model, and that vision can change. That clarity can get blurry, as we talked about. It's a spiral, but you have to work to get back to that. if you do all of those things, you're ready to raise money. And if you're ready to raise money, then you have a viable business, and maybe you don't need to raise money. That's what my goal would be for you. Resiliency. So the tardigrade. The tardigrade is the antithetical mascot that we stumbled across 10 years ago to the unicorn. Okay? The tardigrade is this tiny, microscopic creature, sometimes called the water bear. It can live on the moon. It's been dumped on the moon. It can live in radioactive environments. It can live in the bottom of the ocean. And if things, the shit hits the fan, it can go into cryptobiosis, reducing its metabolic rate to 0.1% and live for up to 30 years without food and water. Okay? Those are the kind of businesses I encourage you to build. The kind of businesses, I'm going to date myself. I was trying to explain this to one of my granddaughters, and she had no clue what it is. But how many of you remember those Bobo dolls? They used to be, probably 3-foot tall blow-up dolls with sand on the bottom that you could just punch, and they would, lay down and come back up again. That you have to build that. You're going to get punched. You're going to get knocked down. You have to be able to rebound. Okay, so this is where I get, again, a little bit on the soft side. Inner growth precedes outer growth. Again, your inner game as a leader, as an entrepreneur, is the glass ceiling for your outer game. Okay? If you aren't doing the work on yourself, and I'm not just talking about as a leader, but I mean as a human. If you're not doing that work, if you're not investing in yourself, trying to get better, and that includes whether that's your spiritual practice, community, relationships, knowledge, all of those kinds of things, you are going to become the limiter and the ceiling for the growth of your business. So if you're going to be a leader, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you've got to be committed to doing this. Okay, so putting it all together, what it takes, okay? What it takes to build and scale a business. This is, again, my pattern recognition. Number one, so it's 5 dimensions. And these 5 dimensions, you're going to be working on them concurrently. Okay, so they're never perfect. They're never fully evolved. They're in constant flux. Number one is operating discipline, strong fundamentals, data-driven decisions, financial clarity, just rigor, just financial rigor, all the boring stuff about business. Okay. Number 2 is energy management, the woo-woo stuff. All right, sustainable performance through boundaries and rituals. And what I mean by boundaries and rituals are like stopping work at certain times, Katie taking a 45-minute walk during the day and not feeling guilty for taking a 45-minute walk, but feeling like it's, an unlock to the business. It's doing the same for your team, like not sending emails to team members at 9 or 10 at night just because you're brain dumping. Because when they receive it, they're like, I got to respond. And then that leaves them without those boundaries. Energy management is a key to scale. Okay. Team and systems, we've talked a lot about that. Aligned culture, aligned systems, rituals, the way you communicate, roles. Everybody understands what they're doing, what they're accountable for, who is doing what. And how we're talking about it. Focus and fundamentals. Again, staying away from the shiny object, not being a squirrel. Okay, just narrowing and simplifying a business. The more simplistic you can make your business, the better. Okay, and again, when you're onto something right, when you're building something special, like you guys with more, okay, I heard you mention, I'm trying to be careful not to get too many SKUs. That's keep it simple. Keep it as simple for as long as you can. Don't invite complexity in, and stay focused, because focus is going to lead you forward. And the last one is inner evolution, that personal growth, doing that work, building all of the things that you need to become a better human. And sometimes we feel, and a lot of the entrepreneurs and folks that I work with, they struggle with this because it feels somewhat, extractive or selfish. It's not. My wife, who's in the back, we talk about this. We learn this the same way. You first have to become selfish in order to be generous. Because if you're not doing the work for yourself, if you're not restoring yourself, if you're not growing and becoming better and constantly challenging yourself to learn, to expand your horizons, to build your spirituality, all of the things that are necessary to make you stronger, then you're just not showing up. Okay? All of those things matter. So those are the 5 dimensions. And I would really welcome any questions, comments, debate. I'm here for you.
How about a round of applause to start? That was awesome.
Thank you.
I appreciate so much what you shared, and I want to dive into this kind of concept of like personal capacity building. Like if I want my business to do this, my nervous system, my day-to-day systems, my relationships, everything has to be able to hold that new growth. So what do you recommend people do to help with that process?
I think it's very personal. I mean, it really speaks to what you need to do for you, right? We all have different strengths and different weaknesses. But to ask that question, of yourself, I think questions are the most important thing a business can ask, and asking questions of yourself. What can I do to show up better? What do I need to show up better? I'm on a board of a company that we just went through a very large PE transaction, and it was the most stressful moment for that leader to navigate through that time frame. And he came back to me and said that the thing that helped him make it through was all the work that he'd done on that inner evolution over the last 2 years. So
yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all. But it's interesting that it's like almost revolutionary to present that, right? Yeah. Questions for Elliot. I mean, I have several. So how about right here? Oh, yeah. I love this. Okay, she wants to know, do you have a before and after on the 13-week financial experiment, a really fun kind of transformational story?
I mean, none of them I would say are fun.
Yeah, right. A second that came out, I was like, yeah.
I mean, to me, what we typically see, and I can't give you a case study, but what we typically see is, like I said, we're pathologically optimistic. As entrepreneurs, that's just a disease for us, because why in the world would we wake up and start a business? I mean, it's ridiculous, right? There's no logic that would do it. So by nature, we're that. So I think the thing that we see is that when the timing of when money comes in, that's probably the most. I think we typically have a better feel of outflow. What we don't is inflow, and when that money is coming in and how long it takes to come in, and sometimes how diluted it arrives by the time all the hands in the cookie jar are doing that. But in general, in more broad terms, just learning the cadence of your business and becoming a student of your own business is critical, right? So, and I would say this, I led a company a couple weeks ago, I'm on the board of, and they wanted to do a strategic planning session. And so they called and said, will you come and facilitate it? And I said, no, I won't do it. Not because I'm, unwilling or a jerk. That's, debatable. But because I don't think strategic plans for entrepreneurial businesses, or businesses that are in that messy middle between startup and durable scale, are worth it. I think, in fact, what every entrepreneur should be doing is trying to identify if there are 3 questions I can ask and answer in my business that will propel me forward. What are those 3 questions? How do I get the answers, and how long will it take me to get those answers? That's it. That's strategy, okay? What are those questions? 3, no more than 5. If I can get those questions, that will unlock the most value in the business. And I would actually start there before anything else. Start there. What are those questions?
That's great. Thank you. Okay, other questions for Elliot? Yes, Roger. Yeah. This is a great question. So in regards to your like 5 main points, can you give us an example of someone who learned the hard way by not doing this and what that looked like?
Yes. Unfortunately. I'll start with operating discipline. The thing I see most often is around unit economics margin, right? And I'll speak specifically to CPG, cost of goods. I'll get cost of goods better when I scale. That's probably the number one thing I hear and the number one mistake, because in order to scale, you grow into more locations. In order to get into more locations and compete with more brands, there's downward price pressure. So you inevitably give up as much margin as you potentially make because of that. I think in terms of energy management, this is sadly, I see this is probably the most damaging thing and most constant is that founders wind up and entrepreneurs wind up completely depleted, and I'm getting getting calls, tears streaming down. I'm done. I'm out. I want to get out. I want to unwind the business. I can't do it anymore. And when I look at it on paper, I look at the numbers. It doesn't need that yet. It's not anywhere near that, but they're there. And I see that happen often. Team and systems is another one. They hire too high, too quick. They hold on too long, or they don't hire at all. They try to do it themselves. And then I think the other one I'll talk about is just that inner evolution. They're not, you have to be, as an entrepreneur, you have to balance. It's like being on a teeter-totter. And then one side is malleability and the other side is fierceness. You got to balance that, because if you're too fierce, you're too convinced, you're too arrogant that you have the answers, you stagnate, don't grow. If you're too malleable and you get in a room with a bunch of opinions and you swing to every opinion, you go nowhere. So finding that balance is key.
How do you identify brands that you want to bring on and work with? Are they coming to you? Are you looking around? Are you like, hey, I'm Elliot, I can help you? Or how's that work?
No, I'm like the most reluctant self-promoter, so thank God I don't have to do that. No, clients are almost always referred to us, either by other founders or by PEs or VCs, or even folks that have met with them and said, it's a company that is so close and we might be willing to acquire them or put money into them, but they're not there yet, work with them. Lately, the pyramid has been inverted a bit, and now I've been asked by PE firms and corporate venture arms to come in and help them build a framework around this 5 dimensions so they can look at a business, because typically the way we're looking at businesses is only product market fit and financials and the normal things that fall into the purview of due diligence, but not looking at it across the other parts of those dimensions.
I'd love to hear that. Okay, I have one more question right here.
So you talked a lot about, one of the things you mentioned, Brett, was having metrics, making sure you know kind of your KPIs, whatever you want to call it for your metric. I've also heard the truism or whatever that once a metric becomes a goal, it ceases to be a good metric. How do you have any tips on how to kind of balance that for founders who are obsessing over their metrics and wanting to hit certain metrics maybe, but that then starts to undermine?
Yeah, this is a great question. So in regards to metrics, you've identified a metric, you've set it as a goal, now it's no longer a reliable metric. So how do you, any tips that you have for founders in identifying how to set metrics and how to work with them and evolve them? Did I do you okay? Yeah, all right. Without them becoming,
you start manipulating things to hit those metrics.
Yeah, without manipulating things to hit the metrics. Okay.
It's a great question. I mean, I talk about vanity metrics a lot too. So, we score certain things because they feel good or look good. So that could be revenue, or that could be, ROAS, return on advertising spend. It could be any of those things. Fundamentally, it comes back to those questions I talked about. So what are the questions you're trying to answer and unlock? And should they, how do you get those answers? The metrics should be about finding those answers. And metrics should evolve. You should be looking and challenge. I'm not a big fan of KPIs. I'm not a big fan of dashboarding. I think there's some basic things that you need. I mean, I worked for a guy for years and years and years, and he always used to say, Elliot, this isn't complicated at all. It's simple. Business is simple. It's gross profit and expenses. That's it. If you have enough gross profit and your expenses are low enough, you're fine. Nothing else matters. And to a degree, that's ultimately true, is don't confuse it and just keep it simple. But I think you want metrics that are indicators, predictors. Those are the metrics that matter, not goals, not outcomes, but you want things to say, I'm moving in the right direction. So if you want to get to here, what are the steps to do that? Those are your metrics.
Yeah, I want to clearly, quickly, and reliably understand what's working here, right? So I can make adjustments. This was amazing. Thank you so much. I mean, there's so much to take away.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you'll come back and give us another lesson. Elliot Begoun, thank you. Did you guys get something out of that? I got a lot out of that. None of it really even applies to my business. So, that's saying something. All right. Thank you, Elliot Begoun. You are amazing. Again, tonight is just not possible without community partnerships. For over 35 years, BBSI Central Oregon has served as a vital strategic partner to local businesses, providing expert guidance in regulatory compliance, payroll, and HR to help owners mitigate risk, reduce costs, and focus on sustainable growth. Next up, we are excited to welcome to the stage a pitch from Good Friend. Our final speaker tonight is pitching his startup. Jerek Lovey is an award-winning entrepreneur and Ben Chamber Entrepreneur of the Year who has served as a founder, CEO, investor, and board director and advisor across mission-driven food and sustainability ventures. Good Friend is an organic, gluten-free bakery born in Bend from the farmer's market favorite Not Bread, founded by Marie Sonale and built on direct community feedback and sustainably sourced ingredients. Help me welcome Jerek.
Thank you so much, Shannon. It's always a gift to be in Shannon's presence. Her skill is unparalleled. It's not easy to do what you do. And Elliot, thank you for sharing your wisdom. Really, really profound. I also should say more waffles are the best waffles I've ever had, hands down. And building a business in 30 days, 45 days, whatever you did is really difficult to do. So yeah, way to go, man. Super, super cool. Little nervous. Okay, so Good Friend is a story that recalls our humanity. It's about belonging, about gathering around tables and chairs. It's about good food, food that nourishes and uplifts and draws us into our hearts. It's a story about community, about building bridges around shared values, remembering our similarities, honoring our uniqueness. More than anything, it's a story about friendship, celebrating the good days, navigating the in-betweens, when it don't come easy, as Patty Griffin sings. I'll drive out and find you. That's what we're building, and this is the story of how friendship became a business. In 2020, my dear friend Marie Sonale, originally from France, began baking seed loaves in her home kitchen. 8 simple ingredients: no gluten, no dairy, no soy, no preservatives, no fillers, no artificial ingredients, just real food. 60 grams of fiber and 60 grams of protein per loaf. Marie brought those seed loaves to the farmers markets, and people lined up from all around. People with celiac, gluten intolerance, diverticulitis, athletes, moms, hipsters, grandmothers, health-conscious eaters who were avoiding eating bread. They lined up every single week. Bread that is a health food has become a bit of an oxymoron. Yet there it was, food that restores the microbiome, food that brings us more deeply into our natural rhythms. I noticed those lines at Marie's Farmers Market booth. I tried a loaf, then another, for years now. Even when traveling, I've eaten it nearly every day, as have so many others. The Better For You bakery market is $83 billion and growing. That number represents real human lives. People who are ready for their food to feel good. Families who are ready to feed their children well. Yet, let's be real. Asking someone to invest $20 in a loaf instead of $3 without explaining living standard wages, organic sourcing, regenerative practices isn't simple. People are requiring transparency. People are requiring transparency. And it's, one sec. Sorry. It's been a while since I've been on a stage. It feels a little different. So paying farmers fairly, growing without stripping soil, scaling without burning out humans. These are real costs or investments in personal and collective well-being, and they're ones worth caring about. Goodfriend is committed to building a business model that is remarkably disciplined and sustainable. We're committed to delivering margin without extracting dignity. In 2025, my wife Beth and I purchased Not Bread from Marie and Jorge when they moved home to Europe. Beth is a fifth-generation Oregonian whose family roots are passionately dedicated to the environment. Most people know her as the co-owner of Live Oregon, which is a real estate brokerage here in Bend, or Live Well on the property management side. Most of our friends know her as their favorite host or chef. After all, her first company was a catering company in Minneapolis. And one of Beth's greatest joys is bringing people together around food. I've invested the better part of my career in developing sustainable and regenerative food companies, designing and innovating products that solve something for people and the planet. One of the primary questions that Beth and I have asked ourselves over the course of the last year is, how is this company meant to scale? In the coming weeks, Not Bread becomes Goodfriend. The name is the answer. What is a good friend? Someone who shows up consistently, reliably, thoughtfully. Someone who strengthens you. Someone who, when it don't come easy, drives out and finds you. A brand that people enjoy being in the presence of. We'll be offering in our wholesale business these 3 product lines that are all seed forward and seed focused: our super seed breads, our super seed bread mix, and our super seed cookies, all of which represent a niche in the market that Goodfriend is uniquely positioned to fulfill. In 2026, we're intently focused on national D2C, launching our Bake at Home mixes via a very user-friendly, robust online platform, positioning home bakers at the center of the story. Regional wholesale with specialty coffee and specialty grocers where the product makes sense to be. Locally, we're opening the Goodfriend Bakehouse and Coffee Bar in Redmond, where we'll be serving organic toasts, organic coffees, organic teas, and other baked goods, all made in-house. This concept of the bakehouse is something that my partner and I have explored in other cities like Santa Barbara and other places around the world, we feel quite excited about the possibility of replicating this in other key geographies where we can connect farmers to ovens to tables, where the local presence reinforces Good Friends' regional and national presence, all while staying human. This is a little concepting of the bakehouse. So we're presently a team of 3, but we're looking for more good friends. We're hiring baristas, cooks, bakers, lead bakers, and operations. If you know of anyone, we'd welcome the introduction. If you've scaled brick and mortar or CPG and are interested in exploring this concept in other regions, we'd love to invite you over to the bakehouse for a conversation over coffee. And our last ask of the evening is, when you leave here tonight, share with someone just how grateful you are for their friendship. It's one of the greatest gifts that we receive in this life, one we're stewarding, cultivating, championing with all of our might. So we are so grateful for this place, for this space, for EDCO, this beautiful community, Cultivate Bend, our colleagues in the industry that inspire us every single day. We're so grateful to our family and our friends, including each of you who make this possible and also so worthwhile. So thank you so much. We hope that you enjoy the experience of Good Friend as much as we enjoy creating it for you.
I got a little teary there. You really reached in and touched my heart. Okay, this is amazing. I'm like so stoked about it. When does the bakehouse open?
2 weeks, hopefully. Oh. Thanks to EDCO Redmond and everyone.
And
else.
Where is it in Redmond?
It's off of like Airport Way, right before the Expo Center.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Like on the way.
On the way
home.
Right, and another right. It's on Badger Way. 1950 Southwest Badger Way. So when you're on the way to the airport or on the way home, please stop by.
I just can't wait. And the packaging is beautiful. The new brand is gorgeous. I love it. But I want to talk about the cookies because I didn't know that there were going to be cookies. Tell us about the cookies.
Yeah, awesome. We're super stoked. We validated these at the farmers market last season. They're the same base ingredients that we utilize in everything else. No refined sugar. It's sweetened only with coconut. We put a little more inclusions in there. So there's some more goodies. We combine walnuts, cranberries, pumpkin seeds, chocolate chips. And they're a hit with kids. Moms looking for something to grab on the go and feed their children well with. So yeah, we're super, super duper excited about this.
I think it's really important for people to know, if you haven't tried the product, please do, because it's one of those things where you're like, why do I need a seed bread? And then you take a bite and you're like, wait, there's something about this. It's so good. It's so good. It's better than you think it's going to be. And can you explain? What is it? How is it?
Yeah.
It's magic?
Yeah, it is magic. It really is. I think that's the magic of Marie. You know, her heart and her intention was so pure. And the ingredients in this product are so pure. She's been so true to upholding this pinnacle of nutrition. And when people try it, they really recognize, I feel, it may be a little bit woo-woo, but they really feel something different, the fulfillment of something in their body. Their daily habits shift and adjust. Mine did. I mean, that's why I've been eating it for multiple years now. Really, really, it makes a difference in my every single day life. So yeah, it's very special.
Yeah, it's funny you would say that, because when our friends from More Waffles were talking, I was like, I've never, maybe it has happened, but I've never come across someone who's like, I was eating a crappy diet and then I transitioned to Whole Foods and then went back. That just, it does not happen. So I know sometimes people are like, what are these people talking about? It's like, just try it, see what happens for you. Okay, questions for Jerek. Yes, Julianne. Where do you find the cookies? Thank you. Where do you find the cookies?
Yes. Nowhere yet. So
okay.
Yeah, they were a farmers market thing last season, and then with the rebrand, we'll be again, like with select specialty grocers and coffee shops, we'll be offering them hopefully at all the stores and Newport, Market of Choice, everywhere that we currently sell. I hope that we can also, share the product.
Okay, we'll put Julianne and I on the wait list because I want a pack. I want a couple packs of the cookies. You can throw these babies in the freezer. Cookies on demand. It's brilliant. Okay, other questions for Jerek? Yes. Oh, I love this question. Was your rebrand easy or agonizing? Somewhere in between.
It was so interesting. Paul knows this. We had been sitting with this brand name for a while. My wife Beth and I were in New Orleans at the Jazz Fest. We went to this awesome coffee shop called Bon Ami. We left. I was like, Bon Ami, what does that mean? I know. I don't know my French that well. But she's like, good friend. And I'm like, that's it. That's it. So we've held on to that. And then it just slowly, started to come to life in a very organic way. And it's been super fun to create. I mean, I know more he designed his packaging and we did the same. And, we did it all in-house. And there's something about having your hands on every aspect of the brand and the creation of the products that is so meaningful. At some point creates burnout when we're doing everything. But there's also something so special about being involved in every aspect of the process in the beginning,
But I also want to say not everybody is good at doing that. Like I could not make a beautiful package, but I can recognize one. And I want to say both of you have created absolutely beautiful packaging, super appealing, beautiful shelf appeal. Is that what it is? Shelf appeal? Is that the word?
That works.
Or did I make that up? Okay. All right. Well, any final questions for Jerek? Okay. So we need the cookies. And that's really the takeaway, I think. Yeah. Thank you so much, and I hope you'll come back and check in with us soon. This is amazing.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I need another round of applause for good friend. I also want to say, Jerek, I'm going to need the hat. I'm going to need the Bon Ami hat. I'm serious. Okay. Wow, what an incredible evening, huh? Mark your calendars for our 2026 events. You're the fire horse coming in hot. We'll be back at Open Space for our March 19th Pub Talk. There's an epic somersault battle that's going to happen. Up your insurance if that needs to happen. Mark your calendars too, because this event is bumped up 1 week to accommodate for spring break. You don't want to miss our Ready annual luncheon at the Deschutes County Fair Expo Center on April 8th. It's right around the corner. Tickets are going on sale soon, so take a look at the website. Our April Pub Talk will also be at Open Space. We're thrilled about that, and that will be on April 23rd, so please mark your calendars for that. More information on these events can be found at edcoinfo.com/EDCO events. I want to say one more time, special thanks to Open Space and Hand in Hand Productions for making it happen. And then I have just one more thing. I have a comedy show next Friday, Central Oregon Winter Pride Fest. It's at the Tower Theater. There are a few tickets remaining. I would love to see you there. It's going to be an amazing show. The lineup is just absolutely fire. So, hey, I'm Shannon Kelly. This has been a pleasure. You all are amazing. I will see you next month.